So we had another open mic. We had people join us, and now, so what we're talking about here is we're describing where this information is, and that you can click on any of these products mentioned, and it will take you over to the manufacturer betterhealthherbs.com website, and you can order it. You can order whatever, you can see the different sizes. Maybe you want a small size, maybe you want a large size, economy size. It's all there. Then when you go to check out, then you want to type in GOCC. That automatically gives you a 15% discount on whatever you're ordering, except for one product, Intramax, the greatest multiple vitamin in the world. And I love that multiple vitamin. It's a liquid. I hold it in my mouth for about a minute and swallow it with some extra fulvic acid and all kinds of other powders and things first thing in the morning, and then again in the evening, and endless energy. I'm just going all the time. And when I'm resting, I'm cleaning house or shopping. Or running to pick up the kids, the great grandkids, and bring them over here, or take them back home, because I have this wonderful relationship with all my grandchildren and my great grandchildren. I got one daughter blessed me with 8 grandchildren, who blessed me with 13 great grandchildren. Keeps me pretty busy. I love these kids, and they will constantly crack you up. So anyway, I'm a grandpa. I love my kids. Anyway, it goes on, to this report. It talks about how to improve your vision, and it tells you how to work with skin problems, and it goes on to talk about how to reduce the risk of a heart attack. And what to do, and how to have extra supplements for bones, hair, nails, and skin. It tells you how to work, and it gives you a complete anemia report. If you've got anemia, it tells you there's a complete report on that, and a blood builder. Formula number 1015, which is the anemia blood builder formula that gets rid of anemia, because it has yellow dock, which is 40% natural iron. And and then if you're using iron-rich foods like lentils, potatoes with the skin, and sunflower seeds and raw unsulfured molasses, bam, you got plenty of iron. And then if you're using flaxseed oil, the essential omega-3s, eating organic beef, a little bit of that, if you digest it, and if that's in your diet, then you can have it. And if it works for you. But if you have a problem with beef, I can eat anything. But I'm very cautious. One time I'll have a little bit of beef, maybe once a week, or maybe every 10 days I might have some beef. I rotate it and have some and that's grass-fed organic beef, or buffalo. I like that better, because that's even more humane than the way they treat cattle, and which I feel bad about, and that's one of the reasons why I don't want to drink milk, is because the way they treat these animals, it's just not right. Anyway, so that's a whole nother soapbox to stand on. So potatoes with skin, sunflower seeds, raw unsulfured molasses, flaxseed oil, all these things are high in iron. So if you're taking a blood builder formula, forget about anemia. You won't have anemia. And you don't need to take their poison drugs, because their poison drugs will constipate you, that they give you for anemia. Finally, this report, Make Lifestyle Changes, ends with how to boost your immune system and fight off cancers with herbs like graviola. And there's a complete cancer formula called CF with multiple cancer herbs in there. And that's how we're seeing people report back that they no longer have cancer, and in 2 to 3 weeks when they're taking that formula and going on this program, when they're eating that way, when they're living this way, and they're reducing their carbs. And there's a whole report on how to deal with breast and all cancers on the Herbal Health Review Common Conditions reports. And again, they're not prescribing or diagnosing. We're only reporting what people are using and what they're getting successes with. And you can't buy anything on that website, but you can click on the products and they take you over to where you can see them. And that's important because if it wasn't for a federal judge, you couldn't do that. Because the FDA says, no, you can't do that. That's against our rules. They got rules to make sure that you are poisoned to death with their poison pharmaceutical remedies, and America needs to stand up, and because you've lost your herbalists, 90% of them are gone in 1 year. In 1 year, you've lost 90% of the herbalists in America, and very silently, because the rules drive them right out of business. They can't comply. They can't comply with rules that say if you make a new formula, if you add a little bit of golden seal to your formula to make it a little bit better, or you add on a little bit of slippery elm bark because it's good for your stomach, if you do that, you got to drug test it, and with millions of dollars of testing to do that. Okay, that's their new rule. And so all the old herbalists, all the old healers, well, we don't have millions and millions of dollars, especially those who have turned this into a ministry, like this one is. Anyway, that's that. And I wanted to cover that, and I don't know how. I just kind of got on that topic because here I am drinking my power drink and sipping on my kombucha mushroom and talking about natural remedies and praising the Most High. So that is that report. Now I'm going to look down through here, and I'm going to see if Brother Derek is here, because is this Brother Derek McLean at area code 916? Are you there, Brother McLean? I have unmuted your mic. Area code 916. Derek McLean. I'm wondering, he said he was going to join us today. And I wanted to see if he did join us, because if Brother Derek McLean is listening, and if he's present, I have unmuted a mic that I think that might be his. Let me see if I can just check and make sure here. I'll look on my list, and because I want to make sure and give Derek McLean the opportunity to give his testimony, because he said he wanted to, and he said that he was going to call in today because he is one of the first people that started reporting that he no longer had diabetes. After 3 weeks, he had no longer had any symptoms. He eventually went to his medical doctor after, I guess, about 6 or 8 weeks. He went to his medical doctor and was tested, and his medical doctor said, "You no longer have diabetes. I don't know what you did, but you don't have diabetes." And so then he told his dad that he no longer had diabetes. He called his endocrinologist, and his endocrinologist and he left a message, and he told him, he said, "I no longer have diabetes. I know I've had it for over 10 years, and I was on insulin and pills, but I no longer have it, so I won't be calling you anymore." And he left him that message. His endocrinologist called him back in 5 minutes. He said he never called him back so fast, but he called him back in 5 minutes. And he said, no way. You get back on your insulin. You get back on those pills. There's no such thing as a cure for diabetes. And he said, you get on those right away. And he said, doctor, I don't have diabetes anymore. And I'm not going to call you anymore. And I'm not going to take any more of your drugs. Thank you. Goodbye. And that was it. And then he told this to his dad. Okay, his dad also had diabetes. And so his dad didn't go on it right away. He waited and he waited. He waited about 6 months. Finally, he went on that, and he called me up about 5 days ago. And he said, I'm going to try to make it onto the broadcast there, and let you know that my dad went on the diabetes program. Now my dad called me up on the telephone, and we're crying over the telephone together because he doesn't have diabetes anymore, and I don't have diabetes anymore. So then he gave me his mom's telephone number and said, please give her a call. She wants to talk to you. Because she's got diabetes too. Oh, and here's my sister's telephone number because she's got diabetes and she don't want to have diabetes anymore. Please call her. So I called them both. They're going to get on the diabetes program. The herbs and so forth and everything, and get started on that after I explained to them what it is and what and I sent her an email with detailed information, which I'm glad to do for anybody. And if you can leave me a donation at herbalhealthreview.com, I appreciate it. That's how I keep going, and I need donations. So anyway, we already got 2 people in that family who don't have diabetes anymore, and we're going for 4 people in the same family who will no longer have diabetes, and it's all with natural remedies. And and I'm not promising cures, but I'm just reporting what I hear, and that's all I can do is report what I hear and what people tell me, and that's what I'm reporting here. So that being said, I don't see Derek McLean. Maybe he'll make it next week, and maybe by then his mom and his sister won't have diabetes anymore either. By then. That'd be cool. So that being said, I'm looking over here. Is this Sister Kashakia over here at area code 469? Is that you, Sister Kashakia?
Yeah, brother. Yes, I'm here. How are you?
Well, shalom, sister. All praises to the Most High. I thought I saw your number over there. And how are you, my dear?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm celebrating. We buried my nephew today, so on the topic of diabetes, he was one that did not get a chance to really understand the importance of any of this, and so he was 34 years old, and we just laid him to rest today. So we're going to do this show today in remembrance and honor of him to talk about sugar stop, because it is truly an epidemic that's going on in this country, and not only around this country. I'm going to give some statistics on what's going over in Africa and Ethiopia, because sugar has become 8 times more addictive than cocaine.
Oh, yeah.
It's very bad what's going on out here. Very, very, very bad. But other than that, I'm blessed by the Most High. I do understand death, and I know that Ahaya makes no mistakes. And so it was by his decisive decree that it was time for him to go. We were very sad, and we're still in a moment of grieving and bereaving, but we are getting through it. So praise the Most High that I am still here.
Yes.
I have you there. I'm glad to hear those testimonies. I was just smiling and had my hands facing toward the east, praising Ahaya, just to hear the deliverance of these people that have been set free from diabetes, and they're getting on the right path, and now the mother and the father and the sister, that just brought joy to my soul to hear that. I hear it all the time. So to hear it again with some more new people, it's just a blessing. All praise to the Most High.
All praise to the Most High. Do you have anything else you wanted to share with us today, Sister Kashakia? And is now a good time?
Okay. Well, good evening, everyone. love. I've been kind of asking back and forth because things have been building up. My ministry's been growing. So I'm back today, as I said, in honor of my nephew, Brian, that was buried today. He's in a situation where he passed away due to diabetes and a lot of sugar, and he just didn't make it. So I always talk about what's called AGE, which has to actually do with sugar and protein bonding together in the body. So I am a cancer survivor. I work with many cancer patients worldwide, not only cancer patients, but just people with many diseases and illnesses. And so this is what I've been called to do, and I've been doing it for over a decade now, educating people on a product called Tahitian noni juice and educating them on AGEs, as well as scanning people for AGEs. They can know where their medical marker is and what they need to do to start reversing these AGEs so they can slow down the aging process. And so, again, my name is Sister Kashakya. I was diagnosed with cancer in the year 2011. And I was supernaturally healed by the Holy Spirit of Rock Wadash. I come off of all of my medications, and I used this product called Tahitian noni juice that regenerated my cells, gave me the energy, gave my body the nutrients that it needs so it can be able to do what it does best, and that's heal and repair itself. And so everything that you do to people, I always have to still remind them of what food is, because I see so many people chewing, but they really don't understand when they're out grocery shopping what they should be looking for and what they are identifying to be food. So I always start off with this definition about food, which comes from the Bible Dictionary, and I can't stress this enough, so that's why I repeat it, because we really must understand what's going on here. So food, again, this is in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. It's a nutritive material taking into a living organism to sustain life, to promote growth and the repair of the tissues, and to give energy for the vital process. So I tell people, get an index card. I want you to write that down. Stick it to your steering wheel. Stick it to your bathroom mirror. Stick it to your shower wall, wherever you need to stick this. So every time you get ready to buy something to eat, you need to ask yourself, is what I'm getting ready to buy, is it real food? Is it whole food? Does it do what it says food is supposed to do? Is this fixing to get ready to take energy away from me, or is it getting ready to give me energy? And that will help guide you along on the process so you can make the right decision. Because if it's not doing exactly what God said it's supposed to do, then you're not really eating. You're probably eating a replica or a duplicate. They're even talking about now in Indonesia and Asia and China and places where they're selling plastic rice on the market. So people that are eating rice, they really need to be careful. Are they really just eating plastic? And so we're looking at food, but what we're looking at is trying to look identical. That's what Satan does. He tries to set himself up like the Most High, knowing that he's not. So there's a lot going on right up underneath our noses, and so these AGEs are increasing in people, and every day we're scanning people, we're seeing skyrocketing AGEs in little children and elderly people. They're like 20 or 30 times over than what they are chronologically. And that's not good, because what you're doing is you're digging an early grave for yourself. So we want to educate as many people, and people, find out where you are, and get them educated. So I've been looking for the building, Dr. Truman. We have 3 places in mind for the seminar you were talking about doing, because we desperately need to put the seminar off, because a lot of our people still don't understand the difference between food. They don't understand the difference between herbs. They don't understand the difference between spices and when they need to be used as one or the other. So this seminar that we're going to plan to do is very much needed for the community. So I thought about something today the Most High put on my spirit, and I always start with a scripture before I go into talking about what I'm talking about, because it's the word that set us free, like Dr. Truman said earlier. It's not the herb, it's not the plaster. It is the word of the Most High that heals all things. It's His word alone that does the healing. The food is just simply something that He gave us so we can be able to thrive and survive, so we can be able to live unto Him. So even our food is supposed to be alive. And so the nutrients that are found inside of this Tahitian noni plant, they are living nutrients. They possess bioactive compounds called irrigators. I always talk about them when I'm on here, which is spelled IRIDOIDS. And the more we're moving forward in these last days, I was thinking about something that he talks about all the time. how many of the people, he was specifically speaking to the Israelite people when he told Jeremiah to let them know the judgment that was going to come to them that had to do with famine, that had to do with pestilence. And pestilence is very, very nasty diseases that affect communities, such as diabetes and hypertension and cancer and all this stuff that we're looking at. These are pestilences. And the famine is happening right in front of our eyes. And I think we think of the famine meaning a parched, dry land, and we don't understand we're already famished because we're not getting actual nutrients from our food. So we're already experiencing this famine, this judgment that comes from the Most High. And only when we return back to Him wholeheartedly and receive the understanding of the dietary laws that He has given us and live by these laws, which are commandments. They're not choices, they're not options, they are commandments. And when we do not hearken unto His voice, then we suffer and we fall into one of these categories of famine or pestilence. And so I can't win everybody. My job is just to plant. My job is to water, and then it's the Most High to drink from. So I never know where this word is going to fall. I just bring it forth, and then it goes from there. So being said with that, I wanted to share something about when you go out to get food. When people go out and eat and get food, they typically think about how food is tasting. And only today when I was burying my nephew, did he tell me just one verse out of Matthew in chapter 16, verse 28. And it says, "Verily I say unto you, there will be some standing here which shall not taste of death, till they see the Son of Man coming in His kingdom." And I thought about that because death has a taste. When we're chewing food and we're tasting the goodness of it, death has a taste. And so this is why we do this show every week, and Dr. Truman has this ministry, so we can help as many people not to be able to experience the taste of death, because that's a very bitter taste. And so as I laid my nephew on the ground today, I just thought about how I wish he would have had the opportunity to have known about this plant that couldn't get able to help him, and this product called Sugar Stop that I'm going to be able to speak about. So I'm just going to spend about 15 minutes bringing some statistics forward on what's going on with sugar and the bad diet that's actually probably worse than drugs and alcohol and tobacco combined. So it's a serious epidemic that's going worldwide. So CNN did a report, I believe about a week ago, talking about the bad diet that's in this country, what's going on worldwide with the diet system that we're in, which is a very, very poor diet system. So that's what I'm going to talk about. Give me 1 second. I need to plug my tablet up here so it does not die on me and go out, because that would be very sad, because this is what I store all of my notes on. Let me pull this back up. Okay. Here we go. This is on CNN, so you can probably just Google it and see if they have different articles or something on it. So I just kind of put some things together that, I wanted to just bring forth. So talking about a bad diet, it's worse than drugs, alcohol, and tobacco combined. And so this is what research is showing now. So it says, when you next visit the supermarket, tread carefully because your food choices could be cutting years off of your life. Whether it's too much junk food, or whether it's snacks or lack of nutritious food, malnutrition caused by bad eating habits is on the rise, a news report shows. Globally, poor diets pose a greater risk for our health than alcohol, tobacco, drugs, and unsafe sex combined, according to the report by the Global Panel on Agriculture and Food Systems for Nutrition. The report draws upon data from 250 data resources and peer-reviewed articles and lists recommendations for policymakers. And it talks about 6 of the top 11 risk factors driving the global burden of disease are related to diet, such as high blood pressure, child and maternal malnutrition, tobacco smoke, air pollution, high body mass index, alcohol and drug use, high fasting plasma glucose, the unsafe water and hand washing, unsafe sex, high total cholesterol. Especially talked about the numbers of years lost in the thousands due to bad cell and bad health, stability of the early. So again, AGE is linked in to this early death. So in Africa, the increasingly urban population is eating more processed food report shows, leaving the continent with a dangerous mix of both underweight and overweight people having diet-related diseases. Bad diets, they are a bad problem affecting all of the country. They estimate that 1 in 3 people has a poor diet. And so we know that is to be true if it's not even higher. A poor diet may lead to type 2 diabetes, coronary heart disease, cancer, hypertension, anemia, just basically a whole range of other health issues that's out there. In the sub-Saharan Africa, for example, the growth in the rate of obesity among men is larger than that of undernourishment. And in Nigeria and in Ethiopia, diabetes is on the increase. It says in the report that in Nigeria, the number of adults with diabetes estimated to double between the year 2011 from the year 2030, from 3.1 million people to 6.1 million people. In Ethiopia, the corresponding numbers will also double from 1.4 million to 2.7 million. This is serious. This isn't just bad news for your health, it's bad for the economy, and poor public health can be a huge cost for government. Across Africa and Asia, the estimated impact of undernutrition on gross domestic product is about 11% every year, according to this report. And that's really worse than the annual economic downturn caused by the global financial crisis from 2008 to 2010. So this is not good. And it's not just Africa. Rates of obesity and diet-related diseases such as diabetes are increasing basically just worldwide. It's becoming an epidemic now. And they are they're growing fastest in countries with low GDP, according to this report from this global system. Then it talks about from underweight to obesity. And it says in Africa, due to large gaps in living standards, many countries are battling both undernourishment and obesity, also according to the report. It says children are particularly vulnerable. An estimated 45.4% of deaths among children under 5 can be linked to poor diet. Also, the lack of vitamin A and zinc deficiencies are also possible consequences. Nearly 1/4. Were you saying something, Doctor?
No, I didn't.
Okay, let me keep going then. It says nearly 1/4 of all children aged under 5 are stunted with diminished physical and mental capacity. So that's basically about 23.8%, while undernutrition and hunger is slowly declining in Asia and sub-Saharan Africa. The number of stunted children is still about 58 million and rising to about 500,000 every year, also according to this report. Now, developing countries tend to see improvements in education and the reduction of poverty as incomes rises. More money doesn't automatically fix the problem. If people spend more on sugary drinks, street food, ready meals, and other processed foods, as income goes up, we can consume and buy more good things, healthier things like fruit, vegetables, fresh fish, stuff like that. But we can and do also buy unhealthy things, and most of us, the masses, are buying too much unhealthy stuff, processed meat, sugary drinks, highly processed food, GMOs, you name it. In Africa, urbanization has fueled a rise in processed food purchases, the report showed, especially in lower and upper middle income countries. Among the highest income groups in urban areas of southern and eastern Africa, highly processed foods make up 65% of the average food basket, compared to 35% for this group in rural areas, according to a report. Processed foods are bad because they are full of calories, but may not leave you feeling full. So they may also be low in nutritional value. It's got lots of sugar, salt, and saturated fats in them, and not, really a lot of anything else. They just taste good. The demand is driven by rapid urbanization. The people in cities leading busy lives and running convenience. Others may live in slums without kitchens and buy their food on the street or in cheap restaurants and cafes. Those kind of places they want to make their foods tasty. They're just use unhealthy fats and lots of salt and sugar. It's the reason they call it the drive-through of fast food, because it's literally just that. It's a fast food. It's designed to taste good, and it's literally driving your AGE higher than what you know. And so even though you might have just had a birthday and you're still young on the outside, you need to know how old am I on the inside, because you'll be amazed what the sugar is doing to your body, binding together with this protein, and it's latching on to all of your vital organs, your heart, your liver, your lungs, and so we can't escape these AGEs. They're inside of our bodies, and so the goal is to reduce them and to be able to put ourselves in a position where we're living younger, longer. So a Western diet is one of the worstest diets on the hemisphere. The Western diet is spreading across the world. It's characterized by a high intake of red meat, refined sugars, and saturated fats, but little fiber. The numbers show things are bound to get worse, and they are. We can just look at the numbers. The developing world is witnessing rapid urbanization, with more than half of the world's population now living in cities. This figure is expected to reach 70% by the year 2050. A third of the population is obese by the year 2030, they're predicting. So the panel of experts and researchers in nutrition and global health presented a report to the UN Food and Agriculture Organization on the 23rd of September, warning of huge health implications globally if people don't change their diet. So by the year 2030, the number of overweight and obese people will have grown from 1.3 billion in 2005 to 3.3 billion globally. And that's about a third of the population the report estimates. So population growth is a major culprit right now. America's population is the fastest growing in the world and is expected to account for more than half of the world's population between 2015 and the year 2050. While predictions may look dire, they're basically saying a number of things African countries can do to turn things around. It's not fate or destiny, they're just choices. And so we do have choices, even though they're trying to take a lot of our choices away. And so we have to be strong in the Most High. We have to use wisdom. We have to get back to the basics. We have to really pray to the Father and ask Him to give us an understanding. And we might even have to fast. A lot of these cravings that we're having, this is why Noah was taught by the holy angels about herbs and spices and things like that, such as what Dr. Truman is bringing forth, such as what I'm bringing forth, and other people probably that you know that's in the same line of ministry out here on the same combat, so we can help save as many people, because more people are passing, even if they're serving the Most High, a lot of them are just not really educated. Maybe they're new to understanding this, because we've been told we can eat anything, but that's not true, because why would we have dietary laws if we can just eat what we want to eat? So we got to get back to having the mind of Christ, Yeshua, our Lord and Savior, so we can eat like He ate. And He ate a lot of fish, and they drank a lot of water. But now our water has wormwood, it's bitter, it has dry. That's part of the famine. That's part of the pestilence. The Most High said He was going to send on the earth. And so those of us that are awakened to this truth, and we are in Christ, we've got to really be seeking where can we get fresh water, because even water is a nutrient. And a lot of people are very dehydrated right now, and they think it's something else they're going through, and it's just simply, maybe it's mild dehydration or major dehydration, but it's just simply a lack of water. And people say, well, all water is the same. No, it's not. All water is not the same. There was a time, in ancient time, that water was very sweet. Why do you think the Most High said in the last days He's going to put a plague on the water? He's going to make the water bitter. This is a higher that's doing this. So we have really got to take a stand and make sure that we are in the right brackets of foods and vegetables, and making sure we're getting everything as fresh as we can. It's not cloned. We know already that about 80% of food right now worldwide is cloned, especially here in the Western world. So we're talking about 20%, and that 20% is getting smaller and smaller every day. I was even telling someone about I can't remember his name, but the pastor that you always invite that talks about the fresh fish, or any other pastor that's on this line. The Most High said in the last days He has preserved Leviathan and Behemoth. That's how bad it's to get to find some food, to where He already had to make these two creatures, and they are in this earth in these last days is it as time moves forward. So it says growing more protein-rich foods such as beans to help. For example, countries should look at where research and development grants go to promote foods with high nutritional value. A lot of agricultural research and development money goes to increasing the yields of things like rice and maize and wheat. This makes these crops cheaper and gives farmers a higher income. But while these foods are high in carbohydrates, they can be low in protein and other nutrients. So by not spending any agricultural research and development money on vegetables, fruit, beans, peas, poultry, and fish, the prices of these foods are going up. But for the policymakers, the next diet-related issues may be confusing, and focusing on reducing starvation and poverty nationally comes first. They've got to, basically, there's a famine going on, and we can't assess it because this famine has came from the Most High. And so once we understand that, this is deeper than politicians, research, and things like this. This is about using wisdom, those of us that are woke and understand the days and the times that we're in. And I don't think I've ever seen my business growing as fast as it's growing right now, because everywhere you go, people are finally looking at alternatives, holistic alternatives, healthy alternatives. They want to know, man, what do I need to do? Or, hey, I heard about that noni vaccine. I didn't understand all this stuff. No one broke all this stuff down like you broke it to me. They just told me a bottle of juice and I heard it was good. Or some of them will admit that they didn't actually stay on the product 120 days so they can regenerate new red blood cells, liver cells, all the new cells that they need to regenerate. So they have to also be patient. I tell people, how long do you think it took you to get diabetes? How long do you think it took you to get cancer? How long do you think it took you to get whatever it is you have inside of you? So you're going to have a little bit of patience and understand anatomy, understand how the body works and how the body will heal and repair itself with the natural herbs and the natural foods and the things that the body responds to. That's why when we put foreign things in our body, it doesn't recognize it. And it's wondering what in the world is it? It's looking for nutrients. And that's what noni is. It's food in a bottle. It comes from Tahiti. Noni is grown in Jamaica, in Asia, in India, and many other places. But we don't get our noni from there because the soil there does not grow the purest. And so because of the volcano eruption that they constantly have over there, it constantly keeps churning the soil. So even the soil is very abundant and very rich in nutrients. So people have asked me over and over, Mr. Kashakia, can we get some seeds and bring them over here? Yeah, we can, but it's going to die. That noni has to stay right there in the region that it stays because of the evergreen, the sunshine. It's not a seasonal tree. So we really wouldn't even begin to have the wisdom to cultivate this noni, bring it over here to the Western world. It would die before you can even really get it going because it takes about 18 months to get a full tree to maturity. And when you pull one off of the tree, 3 more grow back in place of that one. So it's just in abundance over there in Tahiti. It's the #1 agricultural food plant shipped off of the earth to go all across the country. And so now we're up and operating in 80 countries. We've done $250 million in human clinical research, so you can actually go and verify the research and see what's actually in there. It's published. We've actually been on the Discovery Channel. We've got a YouTube video you can pull up called From Tree to Bottle, where you can actually see how they take it from the tree. You have to actually be certified to pick it. You can't just be strolling through the village and say, oh, let me pick one off the tree. It's about the size of a potato, and it stinks really, really bad. So they had to patent it and be able to add other flavorings and things inside of it to give it the taste so even the people in the Western Hemisphere would even be able to drink it. But over there, they just eat it raw off the tree because really that's the way we should be eating our vegetables. We should be eating them raw. And so that's what they do with the noni plant over there. But it's in a liquid format, so you can actually see how they sterilize the glass bottles. We don't use plastic. So people that don't understand, there are many phony nonis out there. There are nonis that's not the real noni. So when you hear people talking about a testimony or talking about research or information on noni, they're talking about this noni right here primarily. Maybe 10% of some of the stories that you're hearing is some of the other nonis out there, such as at Walmart, Kmart, things like that, but they're made of powder. We don't know anything about them. We don't endorse them. We don't back them. They don't come from our company. They don't possess these iridoids that are in them. So the more you educate yourself on iridoids, there's not a lot of berries in the earth that content, 16 different iridoids in them, combined with blueberry, combined with cherry canola, and combined with the olive extract, and combined with cranberry. So these are not just any cranberries. These are not just any blueberries. Each one of these berries come from a different remote location in the world because they possess bioactive compounds called iridoids inside of them. So when they combine them together, we now have different lines of beverages starting from 30 milligrams all the way up to 360 concentrate milligrams. So we have more than just the original noni. Many people remember us in the glass bottle. So they really had no idea that we've expanded and have all the product lines that we have now. So the one I wanted to share today was also a product called Sugar Stop. And what it does is inhibits the absorption of sugar. So I tell people whether you are a diabetic or whether you are a non-diabetic, we're taking in sugar in ketchup, mustard, meat. I mean, just more things that we can even imagine. They're constantly hiding sugar in something. And it's killing us because we think that people that smoke crack, heroin, and morphine know the new drug now is sugar. And so sugar is on an all-time high. It's on the move now. It's off in everything that you're possessing, not only your food, but the beverages that you're putting in your mouth. And so the best thing we can do for ourselves to help eliminate some of this sugar, it's not going to eliminate all sugar, but it eliminates up to 40% of sugar. And so Sugar Stop exclusive blend is made from earth dust ingredients, which includes the white kidney bean extract. It binds to the sugar molecules and prevents the body from breaking them down and absorbing them into the bloodstream. So instead, the sugar is flushed from the body. So this is vital because sugar binds with the protein in the body to form these harmful AGEs. So sugar has a major influence on fat, weight gain, and so preventing the absorption of excess sugar leads to healthy weight loss and also in addition to reduce HbE levels. And so that's what I have to share today. That's the product, Tahitian Noni Juice, or the Tahitian Noni True Age Max, which is our sister product. We also have the Tahitian Noni Import, which has the berry called black currant for people that have cardiovascular problems. If you do research about black currant, it's really hard to find the right type of black currant, but we have it combined in the noni. Tastes like a great tasting juice versus the original noni that might taste like a prune juice flavor. Then you have the extra, which is, I believe, 72 milligrams of iridoids because it has an extra portion of the olive extract, which is good for joints, all different things like that. So with the 150 different nutrients that are actually alive nutrients, and you really understand that, doctors really understand that. We've got a symposium going on. We've got noni in 10 major hospitals right now. They're testing it because doctors are being forced to have to take a look at this noni because they're losing patients. Like Dr. Truman said, the guy that had the testimony, people are calling their doctors, letting them know, hey, I'm out of here. I appreciate you, but I'm good now. And so they're losing their income. They've got to look for an alternative to these medications to be able to save their practices, save their incomes. They're no longer going to have the lifestyles that they're used to. So now doctors are getting on airplanes and they're flying out here to our company and they're being educated because they have no idea what AGEs are. They have no idea the research is on AGEs because we are the leading company where companies are having to come to get this knowledge and information so they can take it back out there to the world. They can educate their clients and patients when they're coming in again. They're buying these scanners so they can now do AGE scanning right there in their offices. You can have your AGEs tested by urinalysis, or you can also have it done by blood testing. But most people want a quick, simple response, and so because of the LED structural light and the patent it's done, it takes about 20 seconds to just simply lay your arm, kind of similar if you went to Walgreens or somewhere and had your blood pressure checked. It's one of those machines at the pharmacy. Well, the AGE machine is actually kind of similar to the same way, and you find out what your true age is in 20 seconds. So that is phenomenal, so you can know a medical marker. Just like you know what your body mass index levels are, you know what your blood pressure levels are, you know what your cholesterol levels are. It's very important. You need to know what your AGE levels are because it's very possible that you are aging rapidly and you really have no idea how old you are, and it's ushering people into an early death. Our children are dying early, as statistics are showing. And so Sugar Stop is a phenomenal product. A lot of people that I have with diabetes diabetes, but I don't just promote it for diabetes. I use it for myself, and I'm perfectly healthy and normal. I don't take any medications. I don't go to hospitals. I don't go to doctors. I don't take tooth medications. I don't do any of that. I use Noni. There's a book called 101 Ways on How You Can Use Noni. And so you can do more than just drink it. You can soak your feet with it. You can use it for prostate. You can put it in your eye. You can make eardrops out of it. I mean, it's just truly amazing what you can do with this miracle tree. So with that being said, that's all I have for today. If you are interested in receiving a free AGE scan or putting on an event in your local city, you can reach me at 469-443-2124, or you can email me at Kashaki, which is spelled CHAASHAQYAH, and then the last name Johnson, JOHNSON, Kashakia Johnson at gmail.com. And if you're interested in receiving any of these products, Dr. Truman's going to give you the website. If you want to know more about AGE, there is a 3-minute video you can go and watch. It's called www.truage.com. TrueAge.com, where you can actually see the machine, how it works. If you want to get more information on what doctors and researchers and people are talking about with AGE, you can go to www.agefoundation.com. And there's different links for different topics, and so you can just go into autism. They're actually studying autism and the effects that children are receiving with the Noni because of the illness and the bioactive compounds. So they're getting phenomenal results. So we're very excited what that's going to do for a lot of autistic children. So with that being said, that's all I have to say. Dr. Truman, I'll turn it back over to you now. Thank you. Off.
Yes, wow. Again, a lot of information, a lot of great information about a great product, and that's Tahitian Noni. And where to get it? Well, we brought up on the screen capture while Sister Kashakia was speaking, we brought up the link at betterhealthherbs.com, product number 2899, to order online the original Tahitian Noni. If you'd like to do that, that's at betterhealthherbs.com, and it's I have it up on the screen capture here so you can see it and see what's, all the information about it. It's betterhealthherbs.com, product 2899. And if you want any of the other products that Sister Kashakia is speaking about, please call 541-791-8400. That's 541-791-8400. And talk to the nice people at betterhealthherbs.com. They're actually their website is betterhealthherbs.com. The name of their company is Health and Herbs, and it is my grandchildren and great-grandchildren, and I get nothing from the sale of any product. So please understand that. Again, we operate here, and I operate completely solely by donation alone. Please make a donation on herbalhealthreview.com so that I can continue to do this valuable work and help people by donation alone. If they can't make a donation, then I help them anyway. And I help a lot of people anyway, and absolutely appreciate any donation of any size. On herbalhealthreview.com, click on that donation button. And the phone number again to call betterhealthherbs.com, Health and Herbs in Albany, Oregon. That's 541-791-8400. That's 541-791-8400. And their website, betterhealthherbs.com. That's betterhealthherbs.com.